United Jars.
And then here is this section here, the magazine. So in this sense, this is where all of your gunpowder would be stored. Okay. That's another version of it. All right, this is looking at it towards the front. And then you can more or less see it if you go down through this ladder wall here, or that back section right here. I believe that ladder wall is going to lead directly to this center section here. This is going to be the surgeon's cockpit, which is basically a very small little area. Actually small in the essence where the overhead or the ceiling is a lot lower. Alright, this is where the doctor's going to go and perform any major surgeries or repairs or anybody who has damage. Alright. And then from here there's a little walkway, and then it drops down to a sheer platform.
And that's a super tall.
Yep, all the barrels, all the water, all the food, all that extra stuff. And then at the very front end here, today it's designed to have like a little two steps that go up. This is called the Orlap. And in here is pretty much where all of the equipment to make the restorations on the ship would have been held. So all of your tools, your hammers, your nails, extra rope, sails, all that good stuff. And then this portion here, right? This is the original keel, which extends 150 feet from one end to another, and this is the original part of the ship. A lot of the ship has been restored in different eras, but for the most part, this is
all wood, or do they use any metal?
All wood, sir.
They try to make it as original as possible.
100%.
How similar is it to a Navy ship today?
That's a really good question. I can't answer that question. My OS2 perhaps can, because I haven't been on the actual ship yet. This is my first assignment. So how similar is the Constitution today to a Navy ship today?
It looks absolutely nothing like a Navy ship today. The one across the street, the USS Young, is a little bit closer, but even then it still looks very different from.
When did they switch from wood to metal 100%?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I don't know.
Just estimate. I mean, was it the mid-1800s, late 1800s?
Yeah,
Someday, who knows, right? Rembrandt and his
early
sketches.
1900s.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Come on, focus it, buddy.
That's what allowed them to go higher, because they put steel in as opposed to wood.
Some, at least in some respects, some parts of like the Navy life are similar, right? So when the ship was first put into the water, the day-to-day life of the sailor at that time was pretty much taken from like what British were doing during their time. So the way that they had to go ahead and work, the way that they stood a watch, the stuff that they ate, the pay, even for some of the reasons that the actual sailors came on board to these different ships, that would be what's similar to today's right? Obviously we have different types of armament, but we do have the same breakdown in rank. Right? We do have the same, even in the same area, so the berth deck is still called the berthing. We still call it a berthing today. The description of different areas of the ship, so the bulkheads would be walls. We still call these bulkheads today. So a lot of the connotations or a lot of the verbiage or a lot of the way that, you know, a sailor would go ahead and live his daily life would be similar to that. What you guys do?
Utah.
Very cool. What brings you all the way out here?
Just wanted to get to know Boston.
Very nice. Have you guys done the Freedom Trail already?
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Well, please stay hydrated. It is extremely warm. On the way back, depending on where you guys are staying in the city, you can take the ferry or the water taxi. It'll take you back down to Seaport, drop you off by the aquarium there, and then there's a cool little walk into right downtown. Yeah. If you guys haven't gone out to like Harvard and stuff like that, that area is really cool. Tons of parks. There's the Charles River, which is basically this river right back here, kind of curves, and you can pretty much either take an Uber or ride the tram or whatever. But if you guys just kind of walk around, you can walk around the Charles River, you know, a couple miles. It's really nice to just kind of go and watch.
Concord and Lexington too.
It's a little bit out of the way, but yeah, you definitely hop on a horse and do the whole Paul Revere thing. Go out to Concord. There's the Boston Commons if you guys want to go ahead and just kind of get and walk around. And I'm not sure if Boston is playing today, but obviously if you haven't, you can always take a tour of Fenway for like $27 or something like that. They'll give you an entire tour of like the dugout, the clubhouse.
Oh wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was the story on that big oven up there? What was that? What did that serve?
That is the cam booster, so that's actually the ship's stove. Alright, so all of the hot meals are gonna go ahead, if not better yet, the only hot meal of the day would actually come out of that big old stove there.
And how many men was the crew?
On average, about 450. They didn't all eat at once though, right? They didn't all eat at once. But yeah, about 450.
But when it was at sail, there would be 450?
On average.
My goodness, I guess I better I'd go take a look and see the crew's quarters down below there, right?
I
would not have
do so.
imagined that there would be that much, but it's quite an operation. Holy cow. Hey, thanks. Wow. Holy cow. Hey, very good.
Yeah?
You're not eating yet.
Oh.
And your parents just get the money too. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You only need 4 more years to be on the ship, to serve on the ship. You'll be a co-worker.
You got this?
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon. How are you? I'm great. A little bit warm. Had me climbing now.
I know. I saw you earlier.
Yeah, that was my second time climbing. Wasn't too bad.
You did that?
I did.
I missed that apparently.
Yeah.
How far did you go? You get to the top, the first
Went to
level, and then the next.
The second yard arm. Is that the right terminology? Second yard arm?
Yard. Just
Second
yard.
yard. Second yard.
Yep.
Yes.
So the mizzen top yard, they were probably about 80 feet.
I'd say about. Yep.
Pretty exciting, huh? You can visualize it being out there in the
And it's
middle of
hard to imagine, 'cause,
the Atlantic or
back in the
something
day,
like
there
that.
was- yeah.
Oh, you know, it's
They're all
all
wearing
it's
harnesses, so there would be no harnesses.
They have to deal with the swaying of the ship too,
Yeah.
back in the day.
No harnesses. You can keep talking, but we just need
Yeah.
to go out.
Oh, can I follow you? Is that what you're saying?
She's taking them down below. But what's it called? I'll be posting them.
Well, I didn't really get the lowdown of this deck. Was it all just a cruise quarters? I see the hammocks, or this portion was what?
Envision hammocks coming all the way down the deck, sir.
Oh, okay, there'll be hammocks all the way.
Yeah.
Oh wow, where are we now?
And Carter, it's these 4.
Yep, just
All right. Sounds good.
Are you standing there?
I'll stand. I'm good. They all look the same.
Okay.
The wardroom.
So this is the wardroom. This is where the commissioned officers and warrant officers would sleep and eat. So the higher ranking sailors would sleep and eat on this deck. They have their own personal stateroom. Meanwhile, everyone else has to sleep out in the open. It's kind of hard.
It's fairly similar to today's time, like space-wise.
I bet it is
At least on
actually.
the submarine it is.
Oh my. Is that what you serve?
Yep, that's why we have that.
Wow.
US Navy sailors on board, sir. Correct. Yep. Yeah, she's 227 years old. She'll be 228 in October.
Okay, and you take it up once a month?
About 6 times a year. Yep, we'll go out on August 22nd, so next week, next Friday.
Okay.
And then we'll go out another time in September. Then on October 21st, that's the ship's birthday. We'll go out for that's our last underway of the year.
Okay.
We'll just go out a few miles into the harbor, right at the edge of the harbor at Castle Island, and we'll do a twin gun salute with our cannons. And then National Guard will return their salute. They'll shoot twin cannons on land, and then we'll turn back around.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Well, this is just coming up next week.
Yes. Yep.
Wow! And how would an ordinary human being get to be close to that?
Yeah, so you can go to Castle Island. Castle Island is it's called. You're able to visit it. What's it called? Yeah, I can just camp out there. Then I'm sure they'll have like perimeters on where you can and can't go, just because they're shooting out the cannons. Yeah.
Will they actually fire cannonballs or not just
Just
like
rounds.
Uh-huh.
Rounds. Yeah, 40 millimeter 20 gram rounds, sir.
Wow.
Yep.
When was the birthday of the Constitution?
The Constitution's birthday is October 21st. It was in 1797. That's when she was launched into the harbor. Actually, the Coast Guard base today. That was way back when. And then the Navy's birthday is on October 13th, and the Navy's turning 250 years old this year.
Oh my!
It's a big deal for us. Big month for us in October.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like the Army was like just
Army
last
250.
month or 2 months,
Yep.
June.
Yes.
Interesting.
And then Navy and then Marine 250 is happening in November, and then we're the 3 oldest. And then after that,
He's trying to tell us,
what's it called? Correct. And then Air Force and Coast Guard a little bit younger. Well, Air Force is a lot younger.
Wow. Storage or what was?
Down below is our aft magazine. We have 2 magazines on board, forward and aft. We're currently standing right above where we have our storage for that. So this is where we have our gunpowder and our cannonballs for the cannons.
How did they get them out? They must have had like an elevator.
They had sailor power, sailors and bags with bags, essentially. Yep, sailors with human man-powered elevators. So we have sailors moving to and from the cannons to here.
And what is the weight of a cannonball for the USS Constitution?
So right above us we have the long guns. Those cannonballs were about the shots were about 24 pounds, and then on above deck where you guys came on board the spar deck, that was about 32 pounds, so a little bit heavier.
Wow. And the total number of guns on the Constitution?
So she was designed for 44 guns, and then she got during the War of 1812 she had a little bit more on board. Currently we only have 2 that we were able to shoot.
Currently only two that you're able to shoot?
Yep, and they're not completely historically accurate just because they're breech loaded, so they're loaded from the back, rather than having to pull the gun all the way in, loading it, and then putting it all the way back out, and then firing.
So so next week, not all these guns are going to be firing
Correct,
off at
just
once.
2 of them will coordinate between the 2.
I was visualizing something even more
That'd be pretty
exciting.
cool. Yeah, and then we, back in the day, we wouldn't shoot all of them at once. We do a thing called rolling broadsides, so we just go down the line of the guns. This was to help with the integrity of the ship, the structure of the ship, and then also gives time for adjustment between each gun.
My goodness, what an amazing event that must have been for a sailor to take part and to witness that. A rolling broadside.
Yeah, at least on this side. On that side, on the enemy side, it'd be pretty kind of scary.
Hell.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so I was told that the size of the crew was up to 450 men?
450 to 480, depending on our missioning and our manning. But during the War of 1812, I'd imagine about 450 sailors on board.
That's unbelievable. I didn't realize it could possibly be that much. I was thinking maybe if I would thought about it, maybe a couple of hundred. But
yeah. So and we also would sleep in rotations. So every 4 hours, we would shift who was sleeping, and someone was always sleeping.
I get it.
Also, like our main mast in the middle, that took about 50 sailors to man. And so each mast system took a good number of sailors to man, and then each gun takes about anywhere from 6 to 14 sailors to man.
Oh, amazing!
Yeah, so everyone was well employed during battle.
Wow, and my goodness, yeah, and the complexity of the whole thing, and to run, they were saying the training was constant.
Yep.
These guys everybody knew their role. My goodness, what a thing, huh?
Yep.
Holy cow! Look at this beautiful mast here coming right out. Goes right down to the keel, does it?
Correct. I climbed this actually today.
What's that?
This is the one I climbed today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You've done this a few times already? You're getting used to it?
Climbing? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you get used to it the more you do it and get more comfortable with it. And like I said, those harnesses are pretty.
You got a
They're
harness.
pretty well, and because we have a line that we attach to, that we don't like actually hang on to climb, and then that goes all the way up the whole mast.
Yeah.
And attachment that goes to that line has like a fall safe, so if it jerks every time it catches it. And then whenever we're on the actual yard, what's called the yards themselves, we just have to clip in somewhere nearby, to a fastener nearby.
What do you, I think what my question was, I think I've had a question for a second. Pausing this thing. Just such a beautiful work. And where was it built?
So she was built right here in Boston, sir, at the Coast Guard, current day Coast Guard base. Back in the day, it was Evan Shipyard. The keel was laid in 1795, and then she was launched successfully 2 years later in October. And then after she was launched, we actually got to build the rest of the ship, just because I do spaceman and stuff like that.
And you are a commissioned officer of the
I'm
USS?
enlisted sailor.
Well, okay,
Yeah. Yep.
I'm not that.
Oh, good, no
but
worries.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And this is your ship.
Yes, this is my current duty station. I have about a year left here and go to my next duty station.
Oh, fantastic. And where will you? Do you have any idea where you're going to be?
I'm in a
going
conversation with my detailer right now from the Navy, and so we'll see what's available, what I want to do, and what takes priority, and we'll see where I go next.
My goodness, fantastic.
Yeah.
And so they were telling me that most of all this wood and everything, that there's actually very little that's original,
Correct.
except for maybe the keel.
Yes, about 10 to 15% of the ship is truly original from the launching day. It's mainly the keel and various parts underneath the waterline. Yep.
And this deck here, this looks quite old.
Quite old, yes.
Do you know how when this one was put down? This is at least looks like a good 100 years old.
I believe it's from our 1927 restoration, but I'll ask our historian, Archer Headman, to come up.
Yeah. Don't lift your head up too
There you
quickly.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'll ask her just for that.
I used to car around ships, I promise.
You're good, no worries.
I know it's been about this awkward time.
Did you guys go into the actual copper line?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And
Pretty cool.
where the powder is
Yep.
stored.
I was actually dewatering that little middle part like a few weeks ago in the
Yeah.
morning, and the lights went off because they shifted the power from the generator to the shore power, and it was like going off for a little bit. Oh, this is,
You're like, this is nice.
yeah, someone's not looking out for me. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. All right. And so people are going down there and taking looks down below too, huh?
Yes. So these are our guests with our historian, our ship's historian. And she's showing them parts of the ship, correct?
She's what?
Showing them parts of the ship.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Wow.
We got the $5 tour.
Yeah,
We're with the naval shipyard, so
Oh, you are?
yeah, and our shipyard does the maintenance and some of the maintenance and stuff on this.
You're.
Our shipyard does part of the maintenance on this.
I see. You're civilian
Yes.
contracting
No,
with.
we're government civilians. Yes.
Huh?
Government civilians. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Part of the
Okay.
Navy, right?
Department of the Navy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, very good. Fantastic.
Yep, she's our official ship's historian.
Ah.
That's what they're asking. He was asking how the wood that we're standing on today is.
No, sideways.
No, stop, Jason, stop.
I'm trying. I'll get it one point or another.
There we go.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you for your help. Sorry?
The
Beautiful.
current deck we're on standing on is like is it from a 1927 restoration or?
It could be as old as 1927. It has parts in it put in the 1992
Right,
restoration.
right.
But it's probably also from the 1950s or 70s.
Oh, really?
We're at the water line, and pretty much everything on the water line is now 20th century or late 20th century, if not 21st century. So, because everything above the water line was replaced in 1927. So, I'm older than parts of the ship at this point.
Well.
Grog, alcohol, that was a big thing, what's it called, and then there was a kind of thing called salt chunk, and so we'd soak our meat in salt to preserve it throughout what's it called, the patrol, and then, so one part meat, so usually beef or pork would be soaked in 2 parts salt, and then a lot of dried goods that we can add water, heat up, like soups and stuff like that, broths. Fresh fruit and vegetables wouldn't last much longer than 2 weeks on board the ship. Along with any livestock that we brought on board with us.
What about the old scurvy issues? What
So
did
it
they do?
wasn't as big of a deal as it was in the older days. At this point, with like maritime navigation and stuff like that, we kind of like got the do's and don'ts, and we know to how to combat scurvy. Like every 2 months was about our threshold to be at sea continuously, and so every so often sailors would get fresh fruits and vegetables help fight scurvy. It was still an issue, but it wasn't as
So
popular.
basically it was the rotation of the sailors? 2 months, you're saying, was the most that they tried to,
Be out to sea?
the sailors weren't going on a global.
They would, but we'd see land every 2 months about. At least
Okay,
18
and they'd be able to hopefully stock up. Wasn't it by that time, did they have knowledge about vitamin C and everything?
Kind of ish, yeah. And it was believed that they put citrus peels in the grog to provide some
Citrus peels. It sounds tasty.
Can't confirm it. Cannot confirm it, but it was believed they did that. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And the term limeys, I guess, is supposedly comes from the British using lime on board
Yes.
the ships.
Yep.
And I've heard also that sauerkraut. Maybe
Sauerkraut was a big thing back
another
in the
thing.
day, actually. Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
the officers'
Quarters.
Quarters.
Yeah, this is called the wardroom, so all the higher ups, the foreign people would sleep out in here, aside from the captain, and then everyone else would sleep out.
Where is the captain's quarters?
Above, right above us, all the way aft. That's
okay.
what the captain's cabin is.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fun times. Kind of.
I'm Guy. What's your name?
George. Nice to meet you.
George?
Yes.
Fantastic. Good tour. Great to be here.
Yeah.
How far out to sea this?
It's been all around the world, sir. So yeah, in 1844.
Hi. Trade winds, I guess, what we're looking at here.
And that's something that I support because I grew up right in this neighborhood, and I had two parents, and one of them was a woman. Yeah, my mother. My mother, she was a woman. My father, not my father, he was not a woman until later. Not a woman at first. That's Johnny Boston the 13th. His name is Johnny Boston the 13th. To the left here, ladies and gentlemen, on the pedestal you can see Samuel Adams. Right here, left, father of the revolution. Samuel Adams. Here's the front of Samuel Adams. And you know the interesting thing, I don't know if anybody ever notices this, but that thing is actually out of square with the building. It's not square to the building, but it is square to the street. There was like a mismatch because the building wasn't square to the street. So coming up around the corner will be stop number 60, ladies and gentlemen. And the Boston Massacre took place in this intersection. 5 people were killed in the middle of by British soldiers in 1770 on March 5th. So there used to be a marker here in the middle of the intersection to mark the spot where the victims originally fell. But that was the middle of the intersection. It's not safe to walk there. So they moved the marker off to the left here on the plaza. Right here to the left, you can see that circle of cobblestones. And so now the victims originally fell over here. For safety reasons. They originally had fallen before they originally fell back there, but now they originally fell over there on the left. This is stop number 6 here. Here's some guy running over. There's a guy running over. Right here to the right. Should I let him on? You're late.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna let him on anyway then, even though he's late. Okay. Hey, how you doing? I got a seat right here in the front if you want to sit there. Yeah, you can sit there. That one's open. Where you guys from? You want to sit there with this guy?
I do.
He just came on. You can sit with him if you want.
Yeah, he's cute. I'll sit next to him.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from?
Atlanta.
Oh my God, Atlanta's my favorite city.
And Kansas.
Right?
Yes.
And George is named after King George II.
The Tyrant King. Yes.
No, that was George III. So Atlanta's named after King George II, who was the grandfather of King George III, the Tyrant King.
Yes.
And also Lake George in New York is named after King George II, right?
Is it?
Yep. Lake George in northern New York. To the left here, near Fort Ticonderoga. To the left here is to the left is just down there, about 3 blocks, is the birthsite of Ben Franklin. He was born here. He was 17 when he left. He lived in Boston until he was 17, and then he went to Philadelphia, where he remained for the rest of his life as a citizen. To the right here is a plaque. You can see the name Benjamin Franklin there, because this is where the print shop was, where Ben Franklin became a printer. That was his first profession. That's where he apprenticed. That was his first job. He was a printer. He used to print stuff. He would print things using a printing press. The printing press became super popular beginning in 1482 when Johann Sebastian Bach or Johann Gutenberg. Johannes Gutenberg made it popular, sort of. He introduced it, and it became wildly popular. And today we have books. Now we have books.
Oh, really?
Very exciting, yeah. It was a very exciting development. Ben Franklin was part of that wave. He rode that wave. Ben Franklin was the oldest of all the founding fathers of the nation. Born in 1706, he died in 1790 at the age of 84. To the left over here is the cemetery where the original Bostonians are buried from 1630. Do you know why they're buried here to the left? Because they died, that's right, somebody knew the answer. Also, Johnny Boston I is buried here, and the original governor, and a passenger from the Mayflower is buried here, whose name was Mary Chilton. She came on the famous ship the Mayflower to Plymouth, which is just south of here, in 1620. The famous Mayflower pilgrims, she was one of them. And she is buried there because she died at the end of her life. She lived until the end of her life, and then she died. That's why they buried her. They waited until she died.
My God.
They waited very patiently, and then they buried her after she died. To the right here is the grave of Sam Adams with the green tablet that says Samuel Adams on it. This one to the right, the one that says Samuel Adams, that's the grave of Samuel Adams. You can tell because his name's on it. In the back is the grave of Paul Revere. There's a little group standing by it, that little sort of square white monument. And then in the middle, the one that says Franklin is Ben Franklin's mother and father. And then John Hancock is buried off to the right, halfway down the building. And also, the inventor of the crossword puzzle is buried right here to the right. 4 down, 3 across. Yeah, his name is a 7-letter word. Crossword puzzle. This is the Granary Burying Ground on the right. The Boston Common is here to the right. Is the oldest public park in America. It was founded in 1634. It's about 1/20th the size of Central Park in New York. And to the right over here is the sculpture of Martin Luther King Jr. with his wife. This is from a photograph from the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony when he won the Nobel Peace Prize. And to the right there, so he's hugging his wife. It's called The Embrace because he's embracing Coretta, who studied here as a student, and so did he. That's how they met. They were both. Boston has more colleges and universities than almost any other city in the world, and so they both were students here, and that's how they met. In fact, MLK was from Georgia. He was a Georgian. He was born in 1929. He died in 1968, but he won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. And Boston has the Puritans from their first founding in 1630 were very education oriented, and so Boston has always been very education oriented. And today, Massachusetts is the most educated state in the country, and Bostonians in general are so educated that even people with lower menial jobs, even the tour guides, are often literate. Sometimes, some of them. And even just to become homeless requires an associate's degree.
Oh, no.
Just don't.
Yeah, so